Dead Wait delivers the horror goods with plenty of blood, breasts, and betrayals. Directed by Tobe Hooper, written by A.L. Katz and Gilbert Adler, and shot by Levi Isaacs. Based on a story from the Vault of Horror number 23. One of our favorite directors helps expand the world of the comic, and conjures up one of the most gut-wrenching episodes yet. Red Buckley has just shot and killed his boss, Mr. Duvall. Red opens the safe and claims the black pearl he's been after for years. He shows the treasured pearl to Kulu, a native to the tropic island, and Red's personal assistant. Kulu hastily brings Red to a canoe on the beach. The boat is packed with food and water for their 3-day journey. As they set out into the water, Red remembers the series of events that brought him to this night. He had spent a year tracking down the black pearl to the French plantation owner Duvall. In the show, Red's partner, Charlie, tracks down Duvall and the Black Pearl. But Charlie warns Red that getting their hands on the pearl isn't going to be easy. Red has ideas, but Charlie wants none of them. Red is tired of being pushed around.
Gotta hand it to you, Charlie. You're the one with the brains, all right. But if you're so fucking smart, how come you're the one that's dead?
Red introduces himself to Duvall and asks for a job. Duvall jumps at the opportunity to have another white man on his plantation. The show adds the character of Catherine, Duvall's wife. Duvall has his doubts about hiring Red. He's not sure if he's up to all the hard work. Plus there's a revolution happening on the island, but he's won over by his wife's say-so.
Tell me, are you by any chance a player of chess?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I am.
Good. Well, my dear, shall I hire him?
What the hell?
And there you have your answer, monsieur. What the hell?
Duvall brings Red to his plantation and gives him a managerial job, keeping the native workers in line. Duvall has fallen ill, leaving him weak. The show introduces Red and us to Peligre, the voodoo priestess who is there to protect Duvall's home and plantation. She shows Red to his residence while informing him of Duvall's disease and the cultural significance of his red hair.
Is that your real hair color?
Yeah. What is all this shit about my hair?
Our culture believes that the color red symbolizes life, so you should feel very blessed.
I'm working on it. Say, what's wrong with Duvall?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, the limp, the lines on his hand. What the hell is that?
Evil spirits.
What?
He conjures them. Didn't he tell you he was a witch doctor? You're much too easy.
Well, really? What's wrong with him?
Schistosomiasis. Waterworms. They mature in the blood and destroy the liver and spleen.
Red is horrified to find a ram's head in his room, but Peligre assures him it is there to ward off evil. He wants it gone. Peligre removes it at his request. Over the next year, Red becomes a friend of Duvall's. He musters up the courage to talk about the famed Black Pearl. Duvall insinuates that he's seen one. One night, Red catches Kulu sneaking outside of his bungalow. All Kulu wants is to be Red's servant. Red agrees, as long as Kulu stays out of his way. After 2 years, Duvall finally trusts Red enough to confide in him that he does in fact own a black pearl. But the precious gem is worth a fortune, so of course he can't tell Red where he keeps it. Another year passes, and Duvall shows Red the safe that holds the black pearl. Red asks to see the pearl, but Duvall refuses. So Red offers for Duvall to hold a loaded gun on him while the pearl is out, so he doesn't try anything funny. Duvall plays into Red's offer. Red got what he was after. He memorized the combination of the safe and made arrangements for a getaway canoe with Kulu. Back to the show, Red snoops around Duvall's home and finds the Black Pearl. Duvall appears behind him and warns of the alarm. Duvall expresses he hopes they will become friends. As Red steps outside, he sees Catherine. The two talk and get to know each other very quickly, if you know what I mean. I'm not allowed to show you what happens next, but they start plotting beautiful schemes together. Later that night, Peligre places a headless chicken in Red's bed and warns him that Catherine is dangerous. The revolution rages on. The rebels have taken the capital. The army will be evacuating people that night. Duvall wants Red to go with Catherine. He feels he is too old and sick to run. He will take care of himself. The time to take the Black Pearl is now, but Catherine cries to Red that the pearl is gone. Red looks for himself. He finds Duvall and the two confront each other.
I cannot tell you how much you disappoint me. I thought we could have been friends. Now I swear to you, that even if I wanted to give you the pearl, I cannot, right at the moment, put my hands on it.
Things escalate to a shootout. Duvall doesn't survive. Red and Catherine can't find the pearl in Duvall's bag. Only cash, and for some reason, balloons. Red figures Duvall has swallowed the pearl. He plunges his knife into Duvall's parasite-ridden body and goes digging.
Red, what are you going to do? Those things, they spread through contact.
What do you think I'm gonna do? You think I've come this far to let a bunch of fucking worms stop me? Ugh.
He squeezes the ballooned pearl out of Duvall's intestine. It's all his, but Catherine has other plans. Too bad for her, Peligre has plans of her own as well. A needle and a voodoo doll spell the end for Catherine. But Peligre's not after the Black Pearl. She wants to get Red out of there. As Kulu paddles towards their destination, Red gloats on and on about finally having the valuable Black Pearl after waiting for so long. Kulu remains silent. The sound of native drums begins to fill the air as Red realizes they are not escaping as planned. Kulu takes up a machete. He has also been waiting for a long time. He chops off Red's head with no remorse. Kulu gleefully brags to his tribe. He finally has a rare, red-haired head. Peligre leads Red to her village and debates the worth of the Black Pearl. It has no value to her. But what does is Red's head.
If I had red hair like yours, I could have respect too.
I don't think red hair would work for you.
Oh, I do.
Hey, wait a minute.
What are those lights down there? Where the hell are we?
My village.
Oh.
You know, they say the spirit lives in the head. Your head must have a very special spirit in it.
What?
The comic serves as a solid starting point for the story, but there's only so much you can develop when spanning half a decade in only 6 pages. The extremely shortened time frame of the show doesn't give the same sense of longing for the Black Pearl, but it was a nice little twist on the setup, seeing Red start out as the sidekick, refusing to let anything get in between him and the Pearl. Plus the rebels in the background add a lot of urgency. In the mid to late 2000s, Tobe Hooper was working on a remake of 1932's White Zombie. Even though this episode of Tales from the Crypt was years before that project started development, with the Haitian-esque setting and the voodoo elements, I'd like to think of this as his appetizer for the White Zombie we never got. Known for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we all know isn't as gory as its reputation may suggest, Hooper goes all out with one of the bloodiest, most graphic episodes. And the producers gave him an A-list cast to work with. James Remar, John Rhys-Davies, and Vanity form a deadly love triangle, while Whoopi Goldberg makes fools of them all. Goldberg is one of the biggest guest stars to grace the crypt, and the show knows it, as the Crypt Keeper himself interviews her at the end. I'll just leave you with this.
Look, it's a pleasure to meet a big star like you.
Now, you're a pretty big star. I mean, I'd love it if you'd be in my next film.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a bit part.
I'm flattered.
But you don't know what bit I want.